We can make it happen, America.
That's
We
right.
will make it happen.
Can't forget about basketball.
We keep our campaign promises, unlike some people. Anyway, welcome back to IDD. For those who know I don't disagree, that is the redoubtable and the highly questionable. This is segment 3. We went over segment 2, which was baseball talk. The first of what we hope is a spirited conversation all year long, because both our teams might be in it.
That would be nice.
But we have to recap the All-Star game, and not so much the All-Star game, because look, the skills competition. Thank you, San Antonio, for making a mockery out of that.
Oh my God!
That's
Chris Paul at his
as if they couldn't stoop any lower. You know what else let's fuck up the fucking skills competition.
Why are you trying to game the system to win the skills competition?
What are you doing? Like Chris Paul, you just unbelievable.
To me, that's not competitive.
No, it's garbage.
That's cheating.
It's cheating,
and it's corny as fuck. Oh, we're not even going to try to shoot. We're just going to go.
In terms of his reputation, Chris Paul took a hit on that one.
Yeah.
He did. With anyone that's a basketball purist like myself, and I have a lot of respect for Chris Paul as a player, but that was kind of...
It also made Wnba look corny, too.
It did. It's kind of Bush League.
Now,
it's Bush League.
I did laugh, though, when they were interviewing Wembanyama after that, and they were like, what did you think about the crowd booing you? And he was like, did I get booed? I didn't get booed. He was like, Chris got booed.
Chris got booed.
I thought that was funny.
Chris got booed.
I thought that was funny.
Chris should have got booed.
He's right. Yeah, Chris definitely got. Yeah. Because Wnba went first, and I don't think anybody knew what they were doing.
No.
And it was what the fuck? And then Donovan Mitchell was going, thumbs down.
Yeah, and he was right.
Yeah.
Corny. NBA ratings are down a lot, and it's self-inflicted. And these guys just don't get it.
Who do you like less, Bruce Pearl or John Calipari? I know your answer.
You know my answer. But
I feel like they're very similar.
No. I don't have any love for Pearl, but he's a few front porches away from Calipari. Trust me. Calipari has been licking Patino's nuts for 30 years. And trying to beat him.
Have you seen the clips of Patino screaming at his team? Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
I figured you'd love it.
I know who he is.
I know, but so they're doing like a documentary on him.
Of course they are.
And
he probably paid them to do it.
Dude, they showed a clip of him at halftime. His team's losing by 14 or something like that. And he is lighting into him. He's like, where the fuck were you raised that you're this mentally weak? Where's your toughness?
Here's the problem with that. I'm a Celtics fan. And
you saw him
I've
be mentally weak?
How weak he can be.
Mm.
And for him to call out a bunch of kids when this pussy didn't have the balls to get on a plane and go back and face the media after a loss in Miami. He went on another plane somewhere else and never went back to Boston.
Yikes.
That's the definition of frightened and weak-willed.
Mm.
I think it's callow is the word we're looking for. Callous. Frightened and weak-willed. That's Rick Pitino. He's a narcissist, just like our commander-in-chief. I used to joke he has a picture of himself by his bed and he kisses every night before he goes to sleep.
I thought you'd like his style.
It's not genuine. I've seen him.
It seemed genuine.
It's not genuine. It's not.
And his team came back and won that game.
Unless he had an epiphany and went to Red Auerbach's grave and begged holy hell for forgiveness for what he did to him and the Celtics, which I doubt he did. No, I don't buy a word of it. I'm not saying that the message didn't work, because it did. But the thing is that when you've seen this man, how he responds to adversity.
Well, that's what he was getting on them about adversity.
I'm saying you can't turn around and say that. Now, if he'd started that speech with, look, guys,
I've been there.
I walked away one time in my life, and I'll never forgive myself. That would have meant something. That didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, he acted like he was in a foxhole at one time, and he had to sit on a dead soldier from another country for like 3 days, which, by the way, my late grandfather had to do. Okay, in the military in World War II, he was a Marine. So I know.
The Lakers are on, aren't they?
They might be. Close that and go this way.
Maybe they're not on national TV.
They may not be. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
In any event, that's all right. No, the point is that had Rick Patino, had he started that heroic speech, that fucking who's the guy I'm looking for? Who's the guy? the guy, the coach, the guy who gave the greatest speech ever. In
Lombardi?
Not Lombardi. No, the coach of the
Jimmy V.
The coach of the Olympic team, the men's team there.
Oh, Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks. This Herb Brooks like speech. No. If he had started that speech with, "Look, guys, I've been there. This happened to me. I walked away once and I quit, and I never forgave myself for it. I don't want you to look back 30 yards from now with that. I don't care if you lose, but go down swinging." If he had said that,
he didn't.
I'd have bought it. Okay, he didn't say that.
I did like the message though. So taking out the person.
Taking out the guy who actually delivered the speech.
No, but the message...
Which proves what a narcissistic liar he is.
So the message was like borderline, you're berating these people, but you're trying to pull something out of them. You know, he's like, you guys, when you miss shots, your game deflates, you sink, you sulk. He's like, we don't give a shit about your missed shots. Play some fucking defense. And then he's like, this is adversity. It's not the game of fucking basketball. It's the game of life. You're going to be dealing with adversity the rest of your life. Are you going to be facing adversity for the rest of your life? Now learn how to deal with it.
Coach,
I thought it was
it
inspiring.
Coach, turn this way and say it again.
When I was a Celtics coach, I shit myself and got a Lofi Award.
That was spoken like a man who knew a camera was on him.
Maybe you're right. All right, forget him. We're here to talk about...
Get that loser!
We're here to talk about the All-Star experience. Draymond Green shitting all over the NBA.
Draymond Green.
While on an NBA broadcast, mind you.
Draymond Green, who punched out a teammate and then got paid for it.
Right.
See...
Who ruined a dynasty.
Yeah, ruined a dynasty with one punch.
Ruined a dynasty.
One punch, he ruined a dynasty. Like I mean, you know, every time I tell people that I live in the stupidest country in the world, I run out of examples.
No, you don't.
Actually, I don't run out of examples to back my claim, and that's just another one. Then he gets on TV and he hurts his own brand. Like, it's boring. Like, well, so Elgin Baylor, who is one of the handful of greatest players to have ever played this game.
Oscar Robertson.
I'm sorry, Oscar Robertson. I meant to say, I'm sorry. Who started the free agency.
Was he the first ever free agent?
I think he was the first one. And not only that, he was the first guy to average a triple-double in a season. I'm serious. He's one of the 15. He's in my top. He's one of my 15. He's in my 15. I think he's 12 or 13. But he's there. The bottom line is, when that guy, and Stephen A. Smith did say this according to him, I didn't hear it, but he said when that guy, he's one of those people when he speaks, you listen.
You listen, yeah.
And he basically told, what did he say? What did he tell Draymond to do? You saw it, right? Or you saw the clip of it?
I didn't see him say it, but I think he basically said, don't listen to what he's talking about. Yeah. Don't listen to him. Oscar Robertson talking about Draymond.
I saw the tail end of it where he says, you passed the ball to Steph Curry.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. What else do you do?
Wow.
You passed the ball to Steph Curry. What was Steph Curry?
Well, yeah.
You know, and by the way, if we're being honest,
he's kind of right.
He's kind of right.
Well, no, you know what I'm saying? It's not something you would say to Draymond if Draymond wasn't being an asshole. Yeah. But Draymond was on
Draymond's an exceptional
the
asshole.
All-Star broadcast going, these guys don't belong on that floor. Yeah. I worked hard. I earned my way to play on Sunday night. Give me a break, dude.
Draymond Green.
Come on, man.
I'll tell you when the league will stop being born. When thugs, when one-trick ponies like you go away. Because that's the truth. That's the truth. No one goes. No one that let's put it this way: the casual basketball fan. If the Golden State Warriors are in town, who do you think they're paying to see?
Not Steve Kerr.
And
not Draymond
and
Green.
Not you. Okay? It's Steph Curry.
It was Steph.
It's always,
and at one point it was the Splash Brothers.
Brothers. It was never you.
No.
You were the third or fourth wheel when KD was there. You
Look,
were never in the ball. You were never in the
Look,
light.
He was a major part of that run.
Yep.
He was a big part of the heart of that. But the way he just dismissed anybody who played in that game, and he said, a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 0. Those guys don't belong on that court. They weren't on that. The Futures team was not on that court as all-stars. They were on that court as part of a test.
Yeah.
Because the All-Star game has sucked so bad.
Yeah.
And you've been a part of something.
Because of LeBronomics. Because now it's the Millionaire Boys Club.
Because of all of them. They don't want to.
But they take his lead. They follow his lead. It started with LeBron chickening out in the dunk contest. It started with that.
Sure.
We're being honest. When did this start? When LeBron backed out of the All-Star. Dunk. I'm afraid. What if I lose? I don't hurt the brand. Then you lose. Compete. Jaylen Brown lost. He didn't give a shit. He competed.
A lot of guys have tried and
yeah, so what? Dominique Wilkins lost to Michael Jordan. He got robbed. It was in Chicago. But the bottom line is, at least he competed.
Right. It's like big bats that go to the home run derby.
Yeah.
It's different than a game. So not everybody's going to do it well.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care if you flop.
No.
It happens. But right now, the NBA All-Star game is worse. The All-Star weekend is worse than the NFL's Pro Bowl weekend.
It is.
And that's hard to do.
That's hard to do.
That's really hard to do.
Let me tell you how...
They play flag football now.
Let me tell you how bad it's gotten, Draymond. I should call you Dreamon. Because the one thing in last year's All-Star weekend that was successful, that drew attention, was when Steph Curry went toe-to-toe with Ice Cube. And that was an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. They invited Caitlin Clark, and she turned it down. That right there tells you how far you have fallen.
I think they also invited Sabrina.
And she turned it down too.
Yeah, and good for them.
Good for them.
Because that weekend sucks.
Yeah.
And
we're going to do it on our weekend.
On the contrary...
We don't need you anymore.
Dude, on the contrary, and we talked about this inside, and we've talked about this before, last year's WNBA All-Star game was one of the best All-Star exhibitions
in a long time.
I've seen in at least 10 years.
Long time. Probably since the last time Kobe played in the All-Star game. It was the last time it actually
because he used to go hard.
Because he used to go at it.
He was trying to get that MVP.
He got it, but he also made people play.
Right, exactly.
He thought he was going to embarrass you. And so...
Dude, but it was so great because it was an Olympic year.
Yeah.
They took all the WNBA All-Stars who made the Olympic team against all the WNBA All-Stars that didn't. Yeah. And everybody who didn't was like, fuck them. Yeah. We could be on that Olympic team, and one of them was Caitlin Clark, who there was a bunch of controversy about.
Who should have been on that team.
Should have been on that team, but besides the point. Because she wasn't, it gave us an amazing All-Star experience. Harike Abumake fucking shit all over the Olympians. Yeah. So did Caitlin. And so did everybody.
Yeah. I mean, this is
And they beat them. They beat the Olympic team.
They beat them. They were the only loss.
They were probably the best. They were the best team in the world.
They were the best. They were.
Yeah.
They were the only team they were the only team other than that one team that they ended up beating like by 5.
Right.
But this team beat them.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, and this is where we gave a low fee out to the broadcasting of the WNBA for their treatment of Caitlin Clark, and it was deserved. Mm-hmm. Here was one of the things we didn't mention in that. Okay. They kept talking because when they realized that the Olympic team was going to lose, they were like, well, they haven't had any practice time. They're like, well, how much practice time have they had?
Yeah, one day.
They had the same amount of time they did.
No, they had less.
Less.
Because that team has been being put together.
Yeah, they were, So, I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, that was just pathetic. It's like, so look at Draymond. And Oscar Robertson was right, and everybody else that heard your swill was right about you. Just shut the fuck up and go away.
Yeah.
Because you're not helping the league that gave you everything.
Right.
This is your way of thanking the league that gave you your livelihood, your life, your family, your generational wealth. Your kids are going to be farting. Your grandkids are going to be farting through silk. And this is how you thank them?
Yeah, not cool.
I mean, I knew you sucked, but you suck at life. Okay, you really do.
Well,
because you don't bite the hand that feeds you, especially when they've propped you up to a level that you aren't really on, if we're being honest. Because here's what I know. If you and Steph Curry never meet, Steph Curry still wins a title. You probably don't. Unless you get with another superstar. Because you aren't leading a team anywhere by yourself. You would never have been the number one guy on any team in the NBA that was contending for a championship. You're at best third.
Yeah.
You are.
Dude, and here's the thing. The All-Star game wasn't good.
No.
And I think it's okay to talk about that and say, hey, there's, we could do this differently.
I think it was better than last year.
Yes.
It was better than last year.
But how could it not be?
No, I mean they could, but they did divvy up the teams, and they had a little playoff thing. And that was kind of neat. There was some. They tried a little bit. It was more than there was a pulse. There was a pulse on like last year.
But I understand looking at it and going, hey, this still isn't where we want it to be.
No.
But he was almost just. You could tell he was just kind of doing it for show.
Yeah.
He wanted to go in there and just like drop a bombshell and be like, this is terrible. These guys shouldn't be out there. And then you have like Jalen Rose agreeing with them.
Because he's afraid of him.
Yeah. And it was annoying because I'll admit, The part I didn't like about it was like Jalen Brunson and Cat both got selected to be starters. And Jalen Brunson, it was like, he barely played. Yeah. He played one game. They got beat by 10-40. Yeah. And then he was done. Yeah. And I don't know. It was like, but if you had just done East versus West, it would have been a sham of a game anyway. So the NBA is trying
new things
to figure it out and make it better. Yeah. And this is one step towards that.
And if you guys just gave a shit a little more, they wouldn't even have to do that, but you don't. You know, you've made your money. This is where and we were talking about it in the house before we came in here. This is where Michael Jordan nailed this way back when on the Oprah show when he was still playing. And Charles Barkley was with him saying, paying these guys when they haven't done anything yet, this is what it leads to. It is. Okay? Those guys back in...
But the younger guys played hard.
Yeah. So... This is the thing. The NBA is tweaking it. They're trying to make it better. And I give Adam Silver credit for trying. But Draymond Green, just don't bite the hand that feeds you. Honestly, you should have been thrown out of that league like 5 years ago for your antics. They keep giving you more chances. That's the other thing. Well, you've got the most fines in NBA history, and they keep giving you a job. Honestly, no other corporation would have kept you around.
He knocked out a teammate and got a contract.
Yeah. No other corporation on this planet would have, and maybe Donald Trump's, but nobody else would have kept you around. Okay? Because they're stupid like that.
That's true, though. Corporations do some shit.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump is the king of that. But the bottom line is, like, you have nothing. You should be doing nothing but praising that league for everything they have given you. Show some gratitude. Show some humility. Because honestly, everybody keeps telling me what a great guy you are. Yet every time you come from a camera, I don't see it. I really want to believe all these guys because they see you more than me. So I'm inclined to believe them, but I never see it. I never really see it. So do me a favor. For how much time you have left, try and show some humility. Because honestly, nothing turns people off more than an arrogant prick who they know he's getting paid more than he's worth. And right now, Draymond, let's be honest, you're getting paid more than you're worth.
No doubt.
That's going to do it for our show tonight. He may be back on the weekend if he gets snowed out. I hope he doesn't, quite honestly, because I don't want Maddie to miss out on this thing. I will be back Saturday. Lawton will be here. We might have a round table if he is here. But until then, you guys enjoy the rest of the week. The kids aren't going to school tomorrow again. And if this thing freezes, they probably won't have school Friday because the roads will be frozen.
I hope that's not the case.
So, but I'll be here one way or another on Saturday, come hell or high water, and we have our last regular season game. Go Wood Lake Warriors. So until then, for that one, the high question one sitting in at Law Dog, we'll see you soon. You guys know the drill.
Peace, love.
Stay warm and stay dry.